Hello, listeners, and welcome to the podcast. My name is Rachel, and thank you for joining me. Today, we'll be discussing Season 1 of the Netflix series Heartstopper, based on the comics written by Alice Osman. I absolutely love this story, and I know that a lot of you do as well. It has a 100% rating on Rotten Tomatoes, and so if you haven't watched it yet, I would suggest heading over to Netflix to watch it and then coming back to listen, because you might be a bit confused if you're unaware of the characters and the storyline. Plus, there will be some spoilers as I make specific references. I'm going to speak specifically about Nick's experience throughout the show and the influences which impacted him both positively and negatively in his journey towards understanding and accepting his own sexuality and ultimately making the decision to come out. The 5 main influences that I found most prevalent to Nick's character and decision-making are the media, his mother, his original friend group, also known as the rugby team, his new friends who are LGBTQ+ allies, and Charlie and their developing relationship. At the beginning of the 3rd episode, titled Kiss, Nick is frantically performing research related to the LGBTQ+ community, as he is becoming aware of his feelings for Charlie and is attempting to understand these new emotions. He finds many stories of the discrimination and hate crimes inflicted upon the LGBTQ+ population, and becomes overwhelmed and frightened with the thought of joining this oppressed group, while he stares at his online quiz results which claim he is 62% gay. I believe that this is one example of an experience that was harmful to him being able to accept his identity. Firstly, the thought that an online quiz could determine your sexuality is ridiculous, and I believe the cryptic percentage made him feel invalidated in the process. Discovering the consequences that many people face for being queer has also made him afraid of labeling himself as part of their community. At the same time, some media was extremely helpful in guiding him through this journey of understanding himself. In episode 6, titled Girls, he found a source on YouTube of a bisexual individual who helped him to realize he was also bisexual as he connected his experiences and heavily related to the feelings being explained.
I had a best friend at the time and we were completely inseparable. And one day we shared a kiss and I didn't feel weird about it. I didn't feel like it was an odd thing to do. In fact, it felt incredibly right. I always felt like I had these feelings for girls up to that point, but all of a sudden I started having feelings for guys too. And that's when I realised I'm bisexual.
Therefore, the media and internet can be both a blessing and a curse when it comes to understanding personal sexuality, and this was definitely the case for Nick. The next big figure which impacted Nick's decisions during the season was his mother. I loved her character and found her to be extremely sweet and caring. It is clear that Nick also loves his mother and cares deeply about her opinion and perception of him, which made her all the more influential. Throughout the show, his mother makes many small comments which make it apparent that she assumes him to be straight. For example, when the two of them were watching Pirates of the Caribbean, she speaks about how she remembers him liking the actor Keira Knightley. Or when Nick consults her about not knowing how to turn down Imogen when she asked him on a date in episode number 5, Friends, she says,
"Don't worry, the right girl will come along, just you wait."
At which point you can visibly see the concern and distress on Nick's face. In the final episode, Nick works up the courage to come out to his mother, and she apologizes for ever making him feel that he couldn't tell her about his bisexuality. Though she wasn't intentionally perpetuating heteronormativity, and loves and accepts Nick for who he is, these small scenarios made it more of a challenge for Nick to come out, and if their relationship wasn't as strong as it seems to be, I don't believe he would have done so. At school, Nick is perceived as the typical archetype of a popular jock, the rugby team captain who is undoubtedly straight to all those around him. He is consistently pushed to pursue the girls that his friends think he should be interested in, like Imogen and Tara before she came out. This sets Nick back. As his relationship with Charlie develops, he is met with the pressure to actively present as straight. It doesn't help that his friends, mainly Harry, also consistently tease Charlie for being gay and make homophobic comments, like in episode number 3, titled Kiss.
Nick, where you going?
I'm just gonna go find Charlie.
What, that nerdy little year 10? Why do you even hang out?
He's my friend.
But why? Do you feel sorry for him because he's gay?
Or in episode number 7, Bully.
You can't help wanting to protect him, can you? Because he's a pathetic little fat.
These instances where they hurt Charlie lead to Nick losing all respect and compassion towards his friends, and therefore their importance and influence over his decisions. Still, like all teenagers are, Nick is insecure about what others may think about him, and is afraid of breaking all the preconceived notions and expectations that everyone has of him. It is made clear that being openly bisexual would change the way that he is treated by others, as he sees the way his friends pick on Charlie, and understand Tara's difficult experience since coming out. Most of the reason Nick had doubts about coming out was because he was ruled by the fear of having everyone's opinions of him change. Throughout the show, Nick makes new friends with those who are mutual to Charlie and reunites with Tara, building a new friend group of allies and those who are part of the LGBTQ+ community themselves. Surrounding himself with these people, who unlike his original friend group are understanding and supportive, gives him a chance to discuss his feelings openly and get much needed advice. Tara speaks to Nick in episode number 6, Girls, encouraging him to figure himself out and not feel pressured into coming out before he feels ready to do so.
Don't feel like you have to come out to anyone before you're ready.
Oh, yeah.
Being out is hard. A lot of people will see you in a different way, and it is a lot to deal with.
This helped Nick to feel better about taking his time in the process, yet also made him more skeptical about the idea of eventually coming out and being treated the way Tara describes. However, having the experience of positive reactions from those like Darcy and Elle when he told them about him and Charlie encouraged Nick and made him more comfortable and eager to tell others. Finally, one of the most significant, influential factors in the story is Charlie, Nick's love interest, and their blooming relationship. Understanding how Charlie had been mistreated and taken advantage of by Ben in the past, Nick didn't want to hurt him in the same way. This drove him towards trying to figure out his own sexuality with the goal of coming out, eventually, so that their relationship would not need to be hidden, as Nick truly likes Charlie and is proud to be involved with him. That being said, Charlie was an extremely positive influence throughout the process, and never tried to rush him into anything he wasn't ready for. After their first kiss, Charlie agrees not to tell anyone, as he realizes Nick's confusion and panic. Nick was not in any way ready to come out, and having been outed earlier than he felt comfortable himself, Charlie had an understanding of the situation and felt a responsibility to protect him, rather than complain about having to keep their relationship private. In the 6th episode, titled Girls, Charlie tells Nick not to apologize for being confused and validates his feelings.
I don't know what I am. You don't have to figure it out right now.
Later on in the episode, Nick tells Charlie that he told Tara about their relationship.
I told her we're together. What? I told her we're going out.
Oh my god, that's amazing. You're amazing. Wait, are you sure you wanted to?
Yeah.
You didn't just force yourself because I'm out or anything.
No, I wanted to tell them.
Charlie is there for Nick throughout the entire Rocky journey, celebrating and reassuring him the whole time, until the point where Nick decides he wants to come out. Overall, there were many varying factors and figures which influenced and determines Nick's thinking and actions throughout this story, whether positively or negatively. However, in the end, identifying his sexuality and making the decision to come out to others was an individual journey which consisted mainly of internal conflict. When speaking to Charlie and Tara about the confusion surrounding his sexuality, whereas they were so sure of their attraction to the same single sex, he wasn't, and this made him feel alone and invalidated. In episode number 6, Girls, Nick has a conversation with Tara.
Can I ask you something?
Yeah?
Are you, definitely gay? Or do you think you're bi? I mean, when we were 13, I think I did like you. I mean, I think I have liked girls before, so I wondered if you felt the same.
I'm definitely gay. Kissing you is actually one of the things that made me realise I don't like kissing guys.
In conclusion, though the support of others is crucial and very influential, coming to terms with one's sexuality can still be a very isolating process, and everyone has their own experience. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I hope that this podcast revealed the influences imposed on Nick's character throughout Season 1 of Heartstopper, and helped you to analyze the ways in which they impacted his actions and decisions. I know that we all cannot wait to see what happens this summer during Season 2. Until then, I'm signing off.